about Argentina then. We were talking about the credibility crisis at the Central Bank of Argentina. And I see a lot of parallels here to the developed market, to the big four central banks here, the Fed, the BOJ, the ECB, and the PBOC. I mean, this is about credibility. And kudos, by the way, to Mr. Michael McKee for having the stones to ask Chair Powell about the Fed's credibility in lieu of everything that's going on here. So, yeah, I think EM has a lot of trouble ahead. And those that are most correlated, certainly to the China yuan, are feeling the pain here.
The China yuan story for me just jumps out off the page every time I look at the Bloomberg terminal in the morning. Damien, in G10 for the major currencies, to see a move of 1 percentage point on a currency pair is a big deal. To see it outside of G10 in China, a managed currency, when we saw nothing like that through much of last year, just what is happening here through the FX channel off the back of this economic weakness in that country?
Well, it's capital outflows, Jonathan, plain and simple. You are seeing investors. I mean, we saw a lot of foreign inflows into China over the past 3 years, both on the equity and the fixed side. It's all coming out. We're seeing the spillover into the Taiwan dollar, the Singapore dollar, and of course, the Korean won. I know Tom mentioned that earlier. Yeah, the South Korean won is feeling it. And we see the export data overnight, which obviously South Korea kind of predated. And look, it's bad in China and it's getting worse. And so, you look forward to the end of this week, you look for the total social financing, maybe to give a little bit of relief to China. But my goodness, it's going to be half of what we saw in March, half. And this is April we're talking about. It's usually a pretty big month. So, we're not expecting any lifelines ahead. And look, China would prefer to stimulate through the fiscal side, not the monetary side. I don't think they have any choice left. So, we're really focused on the medium-term lending facility announcement at the end of the week.
Damien, just how bad are things right now? Is this the 2016 China growth scare colliding with the 2018 Fed policy scare? What is this for you from your perspective? What is it? How bad is it?
Well, what's really going to get bad for me and what really will be the test is the balance sheet runoff here. We're talking about $507 billion of runoff here in the U.S. between now and the end of the year. It's going twice as fast as the period we saw in 2017 to 19. Can central bankers handle it? Are they going to blink as, things get a little bit tighter? And my guess is they probably will. It's very difficult to transition from inflation to growth concerns. And we're going to see what central banks, what kind of stones they really have here, Jonathan.
Damien, thank you, buddy. Choice language. Damien Sasser at Bloomberg Intelligence. We appreciate it. Dollar China, dollar yuan, 672.59, a move of 0.9% on that currency pair earlier today. Aussie dollar off the back of some of this China story as well. The Aussie dropping below 70 US cents a little bit earlier in the session at 69 briefly, now back to about 70. Coming up, the market moving events you need to be watching. That'll be next in our trading diary about 23 minutes into this session. Equities are lower on the S&P. They're down on the NASDAQ. The S&P is off by 1.5%, rounded down to 1.6. The NASDAQ 100 negative by almost 2 percentage points. This is Bloomberg.